Good hello, ladies, gentlemen, and weirdos, of which I count myself among. This is a brand new blind playthrough of the Stanley Parable. Now, many years ago when it first came out, don't even remember what year that was, I saw maybe. I saw like a bit of a playthrough that someone did. Now it was an ad, so I know they didn't play through the whole thing, and I honestly don't remember any of it. Aside from there is a narrator who talks about what you're doing in the game. Um, I'm currently paused, as you can see, on the very first screen it popped up with, which is choose your language, because I don't know if it jumps straight in or if it goes to a menu first. I just can see this here. So I'm going to pick English because there's no point picking another language, or I'm going to try to, but apparently my mouse doesn't want to appear on screen. There we go. Um, so there we go, English, and we're going to see if it leaps straight in or if we get to a menu first. Have you played the Stanley Parable before? No. Please adjust the slider until the computer is barely visible. It's a little bit visible now. I don't know what YouTube's going to do to compression, so we're going to raise it up a bit. Please enter your current time. Surely you can read my system clock. Yes, it's... I guess it's that. Accessibility settings can be accessed from the main menu. Okay. And now, so there is a settings menu. Oh, that's weird. It's a picture in picture in picture. Now I might end up moving where my camera is. We'll see. But for the moment, we've got begin game behind my screen, which you can probably see. Settings. Now I did take from like the artwork that they have on Steam and things like that. Um, a screenshot of this monitor that they've got there, and I've made that my camera frame because I thought it suited quite well. Okay, so we're going to click begin game and see what it presents us. The end is never the end, is never the end, is loading.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Okay.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow.
It took a full
No one
hour.
showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Right, so I guess we're playing as Stanley now then. Now you might hear keyboard clicking. I've tried my best in sorry. You might hear some keyboard clicking. I've tried my best in some tests to reduce that. I've previously tried editing it out, which takes so much work that I'm not going to do it again because it is a gigantic time drain to try and edit out keyboard and mouse clicks. You could hear my controller through my microphone was playing Hollow Knight, which I'm still going through. You're probably up to where I'm up to by the time this video comes out, because I haven't played it in a week, so that I could let the videos catch up to where I'm up to a little bit. But yeah, you're going to hear clicking from the keyboard, from the mouse. I'm sorry, my microphone is slightly too powerful and I can't seem to reduce it without reducing how much it picks me up. So, you know, that's what you get for getting one that's built for singing as opposed to recording, and I'll probably get a new one eventually, but this one works quite well for the moment. So we looking around, is there an interact button? Seems like it. Just gonna check here. Controls, key bindings, E is interact. Good, that's what I want it to be. We're good with that. And we're also going to go for reasons, like to try and balance this out a little bit with our narrator being at 100%, have sound effects a little lower than music. That's how I like my balance for audio, so I'm going to put it to that. But I tend to only adjust it to things like that when I've got an actual, voice dialogue, which we don't have in Hollow Knight, so I haven't adjusted that at all. Room 429, can't open that. Can I interact with the computer? No, not really. Okay, so there's not that much we can do.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
There's the meeting room.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Well, I'm gonna do it anyway, you narrating bastard.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Well, maybe there's something that's being missed or overlooked. Mr. Narrator. Right, so I am gonna touch every single little thing, I guess. Okay, can't go in there. Can we go in here? No. That's looks like a stock photo. Yeah, it looks pretty empty. Stanley's job seems boring and unimportant. I can turn computers off. Hang on, I'm just gonna go do that in here with the one that was on. Thank you. Was there another one on? No. I just want to, maybe there's some sort of thing at the end of the game for it. Can I throw anything at the window? No. Can't throw anything at the window. What about, hello? No? What's that? Knowing your city. Is there a zoom in? Why does it walk forward with right click? That's a weird one. Knowing your city. Hang on, I'm gonna have to get really close for this one. Before you can possibly know where to begin your new street something. Times these help quite a lot when it's that small. Okay, your new venting operation, street venting operation, that doesn't make sense to me. You first have to know your city. I'll use Georgetown as an example in this book. Sorry, it's mildly blurry still, not because of glasses, but the fuzziness of the writing. But in order to really get the knowledge, it's best to go something. Explore. Go explore. Okay. Oh, interact is also click, is it? Controls? Yes, so I can click E or left click and jump. Okay, so there's a real set of limited controls here. Oh, I can't jump. It said I could. Okay. That's weird. I guess we're going through over here. Yeah. No, are the computers on to turn off? No. No, there's not. Okay. This is mildly odd that everyone has abandoned his workplace and he's been sat there for an hour without realizing? Did he kill everyone? Did he cause them to disappear?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I don't trust you, Mr. Narrator.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
Yeah.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Or maybe because I don't trust you and you're telling me what to do. I don't... What's going on?
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
No. No, I didn't.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No, I don't think I will. No, that looks creepy. No, I'll take this one, thanks.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Okay. I don't know what we're doing. Stanley is trying to find... do not jump from the cargo lift while it is in motion. Will cause death. Penalty for misuse of cargo lift, $1,000. Penalty for jumping off the lift, $5,000. Okay, well, it won't let me jump. Am I pressing? It said space, didn't it? It does say space. Does my space bar suddenly not work? That doesn't make sense. I'm going to rebind it just in case. Jump. Let's put it as shift briefly. Oh, okay. Settings. We just got an achievement for something? Give me a moment here. What did we get an achievement for? Getting your first achievement. What? You can't jump. No, seriously, we disabled it. Oh. Got 2 achievements. One that says, you know, one for getting an achievement and the other one that says you can't jump.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others?
No, I have investigation interest.
Something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
Maybe. This is already seeming like there's a bunch of different ways to play this game, so we might end up doing second playthrough later to see other outcomes. Or we might not, I don't know, we'll see. It depends on how it finishes, I guess.
Now listen carefully, this is important.
Taking the red
Stanley
door.
walked through
Oh,
the red door.
well, I guess I'm listening to you this time round.
Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me.
Well,
do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy?
I wanted to make a
time?
decision before you told me the choices.
The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here.
Yes.
Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley?
Why are we in a loop?
I wanted to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you.
Is that the only way? 2 doors open. They go nowhere. Okay, I guess I don't have a choice here.
What do we want? What are we looking for?
Choice? My own decisions? Some weird
Here, yes.
planetarium?
Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy. I actually feel happy.
This is weird. I'm gonna go through here. So.
No, wait. Where are you going? Oh no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset.
Okay.
We'll lose all of this.
And then I'll just play it again. That's fine.
Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me. Please, Stanley, think about what you're doing.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. That's kind of dark. I'm not sure I want to go down that route. I don't really need that. Your alternative is to, what, be here?
Good. We can't be too safe. Promise me you won't go back there. Just stay here.
Why? What are you gonna do if I stay here? You know what? Let's sit here for a moment and take in the swirling lights and things. And see if anything actually happens. Well, we're changing from green to red and yellow. But not getting rid of the green. Are you gonna do anything, or are we just gonna stay here and look at some lights? I'll wait a bit longer. It's interesting so far. I feel like I'm weirdly feel like I'm neglect of choice, even though I'm not. Like it feels like choice is being taken away from me, like I'm not making my own decisions, and yet I could choose to follow the direction that I'm being given or do my own thing. And it's why I said before he said take the red door, I'm taking the red one, because I wanted to actually make a choice. And to do that I had to speak before he did. Or at least that's how it feels. It's this weird, like, you're taking away options, except you're not. It's this, I guess, psychological attempt of removing choice. But we've stayed here long enough. I think we'll go through. I think we have to reset the game.
No, What do we talk about? You're risking everything we achieved here.
Yeah, but I don't want to stand in a void
You
forever.
heard me before, didn't you? You will die.
Well, yeah,
What about this isn't getting through to you?
It's a void. I don't want to stand in a void forever.
No! Oh, thank God you live. No, what are you
going
doing,
again.
Stanley? Please, I'm asking you not to take this away from me. I can't go back to what I was before. If you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this?
Let's go off backwards.
Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you do that for me?
Fine.
Yes, perhaps you can. Perhaps you finally see what I'm talking about.
It's weird. It's weird.
I know you'll see. You'll see that we can't be happy if we leave this place. You can see that, can't
Okay,
you?
you're trying to hypnotize me then, so I'm leaving.
No, perhaps not.
Why is no one here? Why did it take an hour for Stanley to notice that no one was here? Why is there someone in his head talking this through?
My
I
God.
assume in his head.
Is this really how much you dislike my game?
No.
You'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You are literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly?
No, I'm trying to actually have a game and not stand staring at...
Maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore. I just wanted us to get along. But I guess that was too much to ask. It looks like you wanted to make a choice after all.
Yes.
Well, this one is yours.
Yeah, well, that's kind of my point. I want to make a choice, and it hasn't felt like I have. But I'm not going to watch this, because it's...
Is it over?
Seems
Time
to be.
Restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
Okay. So we start again? Right.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
What happens if we do the same thing we did last time? Does it recognize that? Do we have new things to access? Now that's interesting. That's new. It's very interesting. Huh. Okay, so apparently some things do change somewhere.
When Stanley came to a set of
Alright,
two
we're gonna
open
take the
doors,
same
this was not
path.
the correct way to the meeting room, and
Yep.
Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow. Yes, this room.
We're gonna
But
take
eager
the
to
same
get back to
path
business,
and see
Stanley
what
took
happens.
the first open door on his left.
No, I'm taking the same path.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's
I
incredible.
want to
he
see if
wasn't
anything
5 years
happens if we
ago.
take the exact same path.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
Oh,
I'm
we
not
can...
your enemy, really, I'm not. But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Okay, we didn't quite do the same route as last time. Next attempt.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley
Oh.
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply
Looking
missed a
for
memo.
changes. I knew that was a thing. We just have to find it each loop. Right, okay. Because it changes. This is
When
interesting.
Stanley came to a set of two open doors. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it
Yep,
perfectly
I know
well.
it perfectly
Perhaps
well.
he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Nope, we're going straight
The
through
lounge
it.
was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on
Nope.
his left.
We're going through to the end again just to see what happens
Stanley
out
was
that
so
end.
bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley.
Mm-hmm.
Someone you've...
There might have been.
Really? I was in the middle of something.
I want to see if you are exactly the same, or if you're
convinced that I want something bad to happen to you.
able to break the fourth
I don't
wall.
know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Nope, I'm going to change my mind.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
I
still
didn't.
don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked... All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there?
I do. I want to
Find
see
out
something
what lies
different.
At the end of this road you've chosen, well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map, because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
I think it's
of
benefiting
course,
either
the
way.
3. Really? Maybe next time we can get you to form an actual opinion, you know? Any level
I'm
of
enjoying
critical
this. This
thinking
is
or engagement
fantastic.
with your surroundings. Does that sound good? Think we can do that? Yes? Wonderful. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
The Stanley Parable worldwide leaderboard. Good O'Neill, Skid, Nico Nacho. Okay, sure. And it's going to come all the way down here and say Stanley. This is me. Taking 7 hours. I've only been playing it for the last 30 minutes.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please.
No.
Hey, I nearly forgot.
I don't like being
game
competitive.
I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some play testing. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you?
Sure.
Perfect. Let me boot it up. In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right. And if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours.
I'm not clicking a button for 4 hours.
Play to make sure it's effective. Be sure to keep notes.
Although I would be intrigued as to what actually happened, but I'm not doing it. Oh, listen to those horrible sound effects. No. No. Oh, it's horrible. Listen to, what if I, how do you stand this? This is awful. This is such a bad sound effect. It is so awful. No, I'm just looking away.
You heartless bastard.
I'm not clicking that for
Did
4
you do it
hours.
because you hate babies or purely to spite me?
No, because I don't want to
If
click
it's
it for
the
4
latter, I don't know what
hours.
to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm done.
Okay.
It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable.
Excellent.
Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game, just to ease the pain? Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
Right. I should have kept doing that same loop so I could enter all the inputs.
Aha! Fascinating. What do you think this game is about, Stanley? What's our backstory? What is our motivation?
Well,
It
apparently...
seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man, spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower, perhaps for some sort of twisted, erotic purpose. Yes, that must be it. What a fascinating venture into the experience of total mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
The S that we all used to draw as teenagers. A map-looking thing. It's hard to tell what's on the typewriter. Who fire watches the Firewatch? Okay, is this a reference to the game Firewatch? Which I'd never actually played. But I've seen little tiny snippets of. It might be. Oh, we won't go that way, I guess. I should have kept doing the loop. I wanted to keep pressing the inputs. Oh well, I guess we're doing this now.
Oh no. No, it can't be.
Oh, it can't be. Can we go back to the computer at the beginning?
It is. It's an open world game. Good God, quickly block it off.
Yes, please do that. Thank you, I don't want open world right now.
Goodness, Stanley, what a close call. You nearly wandered off into that thing. That big, open, just wandering around. No right or wrong directions. No path to follow. You can just go in any... Oh, thank heavens we avoided it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game. Preferably something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls.
Okay, what are you going to give us,
just the thing.
Mr. Narrator? Rocket League.
Wonderful. See, this is exactly what I had in mind. Just a nice big box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed.
I'm gonna try and get lost.
Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see. There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Fun. We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together. Yes, I think surely we must.
Right.
Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun.
Well, oh yes, you've made me move quicker. That's nice.
Are you doing it? Are you winning? Is this
I have
fun?
no idea.
Is it better than my miserable little story that I worked so hard on? Stanley, I have a thought. And I realize I'm not a sportsologist, but if one ball generates a certain amount of raw adrenal pleasure, then surely multiple balls makes for an even more euphoric
Wait,
sports
no,
experience.
scoring.
I need to try it out. Here
I
comes another ball.
must score.
Yes. Oh goodness, that really does feel amazing, doesn't it?
No,
Stanley,
I
I'm
need
like a
to
child in a
score.
confectionery shop. I simply
No.
have to have more. I'm insatiable. More balls.
I scored. And it went down a hole.
Hold on. What are you doing?
Apparently there's a hole here.
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley, come back.
Okay. There's no light. Oh shit. Hello? 509. Is this from Half-Life? I have no idea. I haven't played them yet. I will get to them eventually. I've played Portal 1 and 2, I just haven't played the Half-Life games. Aside from a demo when Half-Life 2 first came out, I played a demo back then. And and I know bits and pieces through osmosis. No, osmosis isn't the right word. But I've heard of Gordon Ramsay. No, not right. Gordon someone. Freeman, I think that sounds about right. And there's like head crabby things. I've played Gmod, for instance, and I've played Half-Life 2 Deathmatch when that was a thing. But I just never played the single-player games. I'll get to them. I'll play them. Those of you that want to see it will see it. But I just haven't gotten around to them. But I do recognize these flat textures as being very Source Engine-like. That's interesting. Yeah, and I did play Portal 1 and 2. I got Portal 1 on Xbox 360 back when it first came out, I think. And then I got it on PC, but I didn't get it through Steam at the time. I got it somewhere else. Or I might have gotten it on my PC first. Anyway, I don't have Portal 1 on my PC. I've got Portal 2 on PC. I just, been a long time since I've played it. What am I doing here? And so, well, it's been a long time since I've played Portal 1. It's not been that long since I've played Portal 2.
I wonder what he found.
But I remember them
If what
very
he wanted
vividly,
was to be
those
the
two
leading man in
games.
his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice. And if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
Well, I'm not really given any choice here. Oh, here we go. We're loading something else. Right. We're starting again.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Yep. We need to find the computer.
To go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed
No, we need to find the computer. And we're going to do shorter loops so I can fill in all the buttons on this computer wherever it is. Where is it? Has it started us over? No, where's my computer? Where's my computer? No.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
I have a loop
Perhaps
I
he
have
needed
to
stop
follow.
by the employee lounge first, just to admire
No,
it.
I need that computer.
Standing now in this incredible room,
I want to
Stanley, for
enter
the
the
first
input.
time, but eager to
No,
get
no, I
back
need
to
the
business,
input.
Stanley took the first open door.
Oh,
on his
I want to follow the input. Go through
Stanley
the
was
red
so
door
bad at
at the
following
end.
directions. It's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
What if we...
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps
what if we
we've
just
gotten
do
off on the
this?
wrong but in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the
No,
platform
that's not
and
why. I
plunged to his
want the
death.
computer back.
Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Yeah, just give me my computer so I can do the inputs. Apparently I have to start again.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Right,
Stanley
it's
decided
not
to go
in
to
here.
the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Where is it? Where is it? Give me my computer buttons. No, do I have to go all the way back through the other one to get to it again? Okay, we'll go through the red door then. 'Cause I don't know how else to get that computer with input.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room,
Right.
and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
No
Perhaps he wanted to
computers
stop by
with
the
the
employee
input.
lounge first, just to admire it. Stanley felt lightheaded, butterflies in his stomach, giddy but eager to get back to business. Stanley
That was
took the
new
first
dialogue
open
in
door
there.
on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Well, I guess we have to go
Stanley, I
back
think
through the
perhaps
red
we've
door.
gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that
Oh, you know
investing
what?
your
We'll go
trust in
across the
someone
gap
else can
there.
be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's
Has it?
someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten
Me?
about. Please,
No, you don't
stop
say.
trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Who's her?
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life.
Who is her?
She's been waiting.
Gladys? Right, who is her? Hello? Why are we black screen? Nothing here? Whoa!
That's right, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this, to reach out to
Oh!
her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Okay. This is some weird psychological experiment. We're in a different...
Hey, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
Nah. No. You upsetted. Upsetted? Insulted. My ability to land
This is
a
very
beautiful
sad
wife
story about
like
the
this.
death of a man named Stanley.
Good morning, employee 427. Press G on your keyboard.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
I know that feeling.
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch.
Not
Now
eating lunch.
He's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
Well, maybe I'm not going to press the L. I'm going to take the W. Nope, that didn't do anything. P. O. J. G. H. Nope. Okay, well... let me out. You're shrinking my walkable space. I don't want to press L. give this a better. Give us something else. Something else. I'm not pressing L. Oh, fine.
But in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful, and each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him. And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth.
Yes, see, I want to get back to that.
Excited him terribly.
It's in our imagination. Right.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last,
Right.
choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
So all of this is in Stanley's imagination.
As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
Right.
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time. But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed.
I certainly feel trapped.
The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one.
At some point that TV turned into a clock and I didn't notice that happening for some reason. Now it says press V to go to sleep. Does that mean we're in an office again here? And I've not noticed it changing around me because I've been staring at this wall. Right.
And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains
now the ground
here,
is
he's slowly
changing.
killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Okay. Please press Q to be at work in the morning. Well, the clock isn't showing my time, even though the beginning of the game asked me to input the time that I saw as. But no, that one wants to do something else. So, well, you're really gonna leave it there a long time, aren't you? Well, we're gonna wait for this second hand to go back round to the 12 and start a new minute. And we're gonna just wait a couple of minutes staring at this clock and seeing what happens. Seeing if this parable of Stanley's changes at all, and there's the green little thing from the monitor. And I want to go back to that computer so I can do the inputs again, which I was noticing was changing. But no, I had to take the blue path for once and change it. So now I can't do that. And I've missed out on whatever it was I was finding out through that loop path thing. And I ended up with something else. And this has been interesting. And the illusion of removing choice is clearly not there. I mean, you've still got the choices. It's all just an illusion of removing these choices, and yet I feel like my choice was removed because I chose something. It's this weird mix of, like... Yeah, it's this weird mix of psychological effort to remove choices, and I haven't had my choices removed. but I made a choice to see something else, and I lost the choice that I wanted because I made a different one. So apparently we do have to press Q here. This part isn't really our choice, is it? I mean, it is in that I could just sit here forever leaving it go through this, but I don't want to.
You see? Can he just not hear me?
And we're
How
back
can I
in the
tell him
office.
in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself. How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
To question
I
nothing.
suppose I can't. Not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see.
Maybe.
This time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
What? It said please die and didn't give me a button. And he kept saying that he tried again, so... Right. Do we have...
All his co-workers were gone.
Yep.
What could it mean?
I don't know.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
You know what? I think I'm gonna check these computers through this loop here. And then I think that's a good place to end the first episode. If there's no... Yeah, the computer's not back. Well, that's a good place to end, I think. I'm going to come back and try and get back to my computer button pressing thing, I guess. But we're going to end this one here. Just short of an hour. Actually, you know what? No, we're not. I changed my mind. And anyone that's stuck through that bit there that almost became an outro,
Stanley came to a set of two open
we're going to
doors.
go
This
back
was
to the
not
original
correct way to
choice.
the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Or perhaps
The
I want to
lounge
go
was
through the
grand,
original
majestic.
choice.
Perhaps, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his
Nope,
left.
Stanley did not. Stanley will go through the red door.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you.
The fact
all
is,
this
Stanley
time.
wants to go through the
There's
red
someone
door.
You've been neglecting, Stanley. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for
Can
others?
we jump
Are
yet?
you
No.
that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it.
Red
Let me prove
door.
that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now
Red
listen carefully.
door.
This is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Yes. Stanley did.
Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me.
No.
Do you see that
How
I
does
really
this work?
have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running
At what
and
point
running and
does
running,
this
just the way you're doing
disappear?
right now.
There's
Don't
the
you see that
line.
It's killing us, Stanley.
Is it there?
I want
Yes.
to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped.
Okay, there we go. We're
And I think-
stopped.
Well, I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you.
Yeah, see, I want to try and get that monitor to give me the inputs again.
What do we want? What are we looking for? Here.
And then you remove that door
Oh,
from
it's
me.
Beautiful.
And
isn't
I
it?
go through
If
here.
No, wait. Where are you going?
I'm gonna go leap
Oh,
off
no.
the top of that.
Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset.
Yeah, and
We'll
then
lose
I
all
might
of
get
this.
my input back.
Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take
I'm gonna
this from
find
me.
out. Do we
Please,
get our
Stanley,
input?
think no! Oh,
I'm
thank God. No.
turning
Oh,
to
no,
watch
what are you doing,
my...
Stanley? Please,
See, the
I'm
camera's
asking you
here,
not to
and I've
take
got
this
my
away from me.
recording
I
there.
can't go back to what I was
And so I'm
before.
watching-
If you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this?
myself play this on there, which is a little weird, to be honest, rather than watching it on my main monitor. It's a lot smaller in size, so I don't tend to do this very often. Sometimes, you know, when I just want to chat
Stanley,
about inane
let's go back
nothingness,
to the other room.
it,
Can
you know,
do
gives
that
me a
for
chance to
my
look
God?
towards the camera
Is this really how much you
a
dislike
little
my
bit
game?
more.
That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over?
No,
to
this
do
is how
video?
much I want that
You were
computer
literally
monitor
willing to
back.
kill
But,
yourself to keep me from being happy.
yeah,
Am I reading the situation correctly?
not quite, but close enough.
Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it.
What happens
don't
if
know
we go
anymore.
back to that room while
I
we're
just wanted
walking
us
as
to get
slow
along.
as can be?
But I guess that was too much to ask. Do you actually want to stay alive? Or are you just teasing me?
Well, it's called teasing you, yes.
I wanted us to be happy here, Stanley. I really did.
Are you
I
gonna
wish
kill me?
I still thought that was possible.
If I stay here for a while, are you gonna change your attitude? That's my real question right now. If we just stay here and stare at the red and green blobs rising into the ether, are you going to be happy, Mr. Narrator? Shall we find out as we move from red to a new colour? Can we walk off the edge here? The answer is no. And we're stuck in a weird existential existence among a bunch of lights and what are supposed to be stars but don't really look like stars. And the narrator doesn't pick back up his conversation, so we're gonna go back to the stairs and try and reset this. This is one of the most bizarre experiences I've had in a game, and I'm not entirely certain if I'm enjoying it. I'm not finding it awful. I don't think it's bad in any way, but I'm not certain whether or not I'm enjoying myself. It just is. It's this weird psychological experiment is what it feels like. Like I am being tested. And I don't know if I necessarily want to be tested. Where it's not a test I'm inducing myself. If that makes any sense. And yet, I feel like I'm inducing this to myself. It is this weird feeling.
Is it over?
Yeah.
It's going to restart, isn't it?
Yeah.
Going back.
We are. It's going to restart, and it's going to pick up next time after we find out whether or not you've
All
given
of
me
his
the monitor
coworkers were
back.
gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
No,
Perhaps he'd
Stanley
sent
went
in
looking
memo.
for a monitor with an input, which you've not given back to me. Stanley is upset. Stanley wants his monitor. Stanley doesn't know what happened to his monitor. Stanley wants to smash things. Stanley
No
wants
matter
to
how hard
destroy.
Stanley looked, Stanley went around touching
Yes,
every little thing
Stanley-
in the office,
Stanley
but it
went
didn't make
looking-
a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Stanley wants his monitor back with the inputs. But Stanley can't get his monitor back, can Stanley? Stanley, no. Stanley. Feel like, give me what I want. 427. Give me a 427. Feel like I'm devolving into some mindless drone. Weirdly. I guess that's kind of the point of this, is it? Well, we didn't get what we were after, so we're going to end it here, staring at art. This is art. When the buzzer sounds, look at the art. That's a Portal 2 reference. As I said, I've played Portal 2. I've not gotten to Half-Life yet. I will, eventually. But now we're playing the Stanley Parable, and this has been the first episode. It has been a weird experience for me, and I'm sure for you watching my weird version of this playthrough. I'm going to switch us back to run my own psychological experiment on you watching, which is sadistic for some reason. It's just happening. Whether or not you're still watching, I don't know. Maybe you've shut it off. I wouldn't blame you. I would have shut it off by now. So, you know what? I'm going to tell you. The episode is coming to a close. You can end it early. You can end this psychological torment. You can press that like button. You can press subscribe if you want to, or you can choose not to. It's up to you. You can end the video now, or you can keep watching me ramble about nothingness for the next 30 seconds while I end the video. But that is the first episode of the Stanley Parable. It's doing weird things to me and making me want to do weird things to all of you in turn. And I don't know where it goes from here. I don't know if it goes anywhere, or if we just experience more of this. There will be another episode. I don't know how many there'll be in total. I want my inputs back, as you've all guessed by now. I can't get them. I should have kept doing the loops that I was doing, but I didn't. So thank you for joining me for whatever the heck this was. I hope to see you next time. Have a good one. Bye.